Hello everybody and welcome to this Train Sim World 3 news video. Today we're going to be having a look at the Glossop line because there's been a bit of an update for that. We've got some fancy new screenshots, got a bit more information, and it's worthy of its own video. So let's jump straight in. This is just a reminder of the route map. So the Glossop line from Manchester Piccadilly to Glossop, obviously, via Hadfield and Dinting. So the services go from Manchester to Dinting, then to Hadfield, then reverse back through Dinting to Glossop, and then back through again. I believe that's how it works. Yes. Yeah. So it's sort of one service goes from Manchester to Glossop with a cab change in the middle. Fully electrified, etc. And this is just a bit of an extra recap. So there's 13 stations on 13 miles. It's modern and day, operated by Northern, fully double track except for the little bit at the end. Fully electrified, runs with the class 323, maximum speed of 75 miles an hour, generally captive. Has the triangle junction at Dinting, so one must reverse to complete a service. It's the second route for the class 323. And there's 2 trains per hour all day. So that is information that we've already known, that I'm just repeating again for the benefit of you all. There's been hardly any changes to the Class 323 for this, more or less the only change being the Northern livery, obviously. But to be honest, the 323 wasn't that bad to begin with. It was just the services took forever. So this should be a nicer application of it. And the big one is guard mode. This is new for this route. It has been so unbelievably highly requested. Probably every day a suggestion thread gets created on, oh please can we have guard mode? Oh please can we have guard mode? We need to have guard mode. And whilst I believe that where guards do the door operations and station duties, that should be simulated, I wasn't super keen. I mean, I wouldn't have objected to guard mode, but I don't think it was high on my priorities list. But I'm guessing that in Dovetail's community surveys that they do at the end of each year, guard mode did appear as an option for them to focus on. I presume a lot of the 10, 11, 12-year-olds picked that. Pick that function, put it way at the top. But we have it now. Not much point complaining because it's not a terrible feature, and it's not really a feature. It's just part of a single scenario. So that's the first point. It's only one scenario. It's not a standalone mode. You can't just go into free roam and then pick a train and act as a guard. It's only for one scenario. Within that scenario, you do various duties like door controls and checking tickets, and you can see the dialogue box on the right, and there'll be a full res uncropped image of that later on. But as you can see, there's a reasonably detailed, and you have to interact and blah blah blah. And you have to actually check that the tickets are valid on the service. So that is guard mode. Again, not too much to say, other than it is coming for a single scenario. Layers, not too much going on here. There's the East Midlands Class 158. There's an AI service once an hour in each direction from Manchester. So that's probably every half hour you'll see one coming in and out. And there's one drivable empty stock run to Ashbury's from, I can't remember. During the applicable months, there are layers for the Class 66 railhead treatment train, if you own that. Just cleaning the tracks, I presume. Steam and diesel rail tours are available for the Class 37 from Tees Valley Line, the Class 20 from the Tees Valley Line, the Class 47 from Northern Transpennine, and the LMS 6P from Spirit of Steam. And there's also Class 66 runs on regular freight trains, as well as a few bits of static rolling stock here and there. So not too much going on the way, but better than nothing, I suppose. And now I'll have a look at the screenshots. So there won't be any text over this. You can see what I presume is the approach to Manchester, with just a little 3-car 323. The 323 looks quite nice. I mean, it's already existed. They've just had to put a new livery on it, but it doesn't look bad. Additionally, you know, the route doesn't look terrible either. Doesn't look stand out, but doesn't look bad. Here's the cab. Again, this is the same as what we've had, but it doesn't look bad. The route doesn't look bad either. This looks like a junction from the line to the main line. Not sure though. This would be the single track section at the east end of the line in the snow, and some what appear to be relatively old electrification structures, electrification portals. Yeah, so that looks quite nice. Pretty detailed, and I'm sure modders can play around a lot with this if you're on PC. And here is the full dialogue for the guards mode. So you can see there's upcoming stops, the date, and then the ticket. So it's got where it's valid from and to, and what date, and blah blah blah. And then there's the dialogue box at the bottom. Here is Manchester Piccadilly. It's a bit of a dead station because there's nothing to go in it really, except for the 323 and the very few other layers. Which is a shame, but it's the nature of these things. If you want it to be super unrealistic, you could plonk other things down, but let's keep it realistic. Thank you. I don't mind if the terminal stations are a little bit dull. Manchester looks very nice. We don't have the St Pancras effect of really hazy and yucky and appears to be cloudy and dark. This looks very nice and sunlit, which I certainly approve of. Very, very bright. Does capture the vibe of being sunlit very well. Maybe perhaps a tiny bit too bright, but who knows. This would be Dinting, so you can see the triangle junction there. Looks quite nice again. You can see there's an abandoned platform, and again some of the older style overhead wire bridges there. But no, Dinting doesn't look too bad. Here's a viaduct somewhere. Looks quite nice. That looks like a bespoke asset, so that's good. And here is the photo mode, railfan mode scenario. I can't even remember if I've talked about this already. So the railfan scenario, you've got to take pictures and then you get shown them at the end. I'm not sure how I feel about it, if I'm honest. I feel like it's a bit too sort of game-like rather than simulator. But you can do this in free mode. Why do we need a scenario to take pictures of things? I don't quite understand. And then they get put on display at Manchester Piccadilly. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? It's clearly a game. Like, this is something you'd find on. This looks like something on a Wii Party, not Train Sim. But whatever. What am I to say? This again looks like the approach to Manchester Piccadilly with a 4-car EMT 158 in the background, which looks pretty nice. A touch too bright again, perhaps, but not too bad overall. And we'll come on to the price. So this will be £20, $25 and €25. So slightly cheaper than most other routes, I guess, because it's short. Only 13 miles long, and there's not too much gameplay to it. So that's a welcome change. And this is the most welcome change, personally. This is the loyalty bonus. So Dovetail have said they're going to offer these, and they're investigating offering more. So there's a discount of 10% to Xbox and Steam users if you already own Birmingham Cross City, and that lasts until the 31st of July. And that 10% discount applies to PlayStation users if you own, or if you're part of PS Plus. I'm not quite sure what PS Plus is, so I'm sure if you are part of it, you will know what it is, and you'll know if you are or not. So if you're part of that, you get 10% off until 31st of July again. And if you're on Epic Games, everyone is entitled to this discount until the 4th of July. Now, I should assume there's a 10% pre-order but discount as well, for Steam certainly, and I'm not sure if it's compound, so I'm not sure if you get 20% off if you own Birmingham Cross City. But it certainly does seem nice that they're offering some kind of compensation for you buying something that you really already own in some regard, which I do support. So that is that. Yeah. Not too much else to add. That is the end of what I plan to say. So I guess thank you all very much for watching. If you've learned something or found this interesting or something else, please do subscribe. Please do like the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.